Hello, friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Yaffy Roth, and in this video we are going to be continuing our playthrough of Voice of Cards, the Isle Dragon's Roars. As I said, we're going to change it up a little bit here. Let's see here. Oh, it's under Customize. Well, I'm digging the Nier soundtrack, so we're gonna keep that for another one. Avatar. We'll just keep Mar. We'll work backwards. We'll do this one. Sure. Let's see here. Card backs. Now I want the Golden Dragon pattern. Battle board. I actually like the battle board that we have right now. Table. Yeah, we're just gonna keep the table the way it is. Dice. Going with the Emil dice because I do kind of like those. And yeah, we'll stick with the Vola's music. Alright, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about battles. I can just cut them all out. I'm fine with that, you know, aside from like boss battles and like special events and whatnot. Otherwise, I'm just gonna probably, you know, like in dungeons and whatnot, I'll kind of cut it up. But if we're exploring on the world map, I'm not gonna worry about it too much, so. But okay, well here we go, into Unionville we go, and for the most part story stuff today. Alright. Those. Up the armor first. How may I help you? The proprietor inquires. Let's buy. Yes, please. Mistral Blade. Alright. Alright, looks like he's got the same, it looks like. He's a new one. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, the famous hunter. Armor seems to be good. Knight's chainmail. Ooh. Yeah, she needs some guns. Wish there was a way to see if I already own it. Don't. Because I do want to try to get one of like at least everything here. She has that. Alright, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I'll do that off screen, I guess. Alright, let's hit up the apothecary. The defroster. This is what I would like to do. Let's sell. Fine, I just want one. Okay, so I have the Ring of Protection, Wind Stay, and Numb Stay. I don't have. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna drop this down to just 2. Alright.
The woman frowns deeply, claiming the cakes she bought for her beloved furball have all been eaten by someone else.
That's not good. Well, that's it.
A quiet furball sits with crumbs around its mouth.
I'm gonna go ahead. What do we got in the item shop? May I help you? Nothing of value that I want. Oh, really? Okay. We'll check that out in a second. Yeah, whatever. Go away. Alright, well, I'll mess with that more. I'm going to cut it out the one that was before that, so... Anyways, and onwards.
The child says his monster friend left the village suddenly to go back home. He claims the headman told him that he could go home when he grew up too. The little orc child pouts, but I don't know where my home is.
Aww.
You ask the old man if he knows anything about the dragon. No, sir, he answers. All I know is that it brings more trouble to this already troubled world. But our headman is a wise and worldly man. He might know something, he remarks, pointing at a house not far away.
Ask Unionville's headman what he knows of the dragon. Yeah, I will.
The little goblin sulks. As he gazes upon the withering flowers he tried so desperately to take care of. He looks at you with tears in his eyes, silently begging you for help. You search your bag for salve, but come up empty-handed.
Dump water on him.
A young boy wanders up to your group in wide-eyed wonder. You surmise his curiosity stems from the lack of travelers visiting the village. You realize you are right when he assails you with questions about your origins and adventures. The Inquisition leaves you exhausted.
You fulfill necessary requirements to unlock the Simple Boys flip side story. Okay, we'll get all those.
However, does your mouth become so filthy, Mr. Flobby? Sighs the girl as she wipes the slime clean. Clearly embarrassed, Mr. Flobby murmurs, "That's not my mouth."
Get some
The
salve.
little orc child is engrossed in a fairy tale. The title reads, "The Legend of the Dragon."
What story could this be?
You take a peek into the picture book and come across a passage that piques your interest.
Defeated by the king's army, the dragon hid itself away.
To where, you wonder? Then recall that this is merely a fairy tale. The village headman is a renowned gourmet, and rumor has it he only dines on the finest foods. The man says he wishes he too could have such a lavish meal just once in his life, his deep desire for delicacies only growing with time.
You fulfill the necessary requirements to unlock the average man's flip side story.
Wow, a new friend, and so big too, the furball exclaims in glee as it rushes over to Mar.
Aw.
Mar stares off into the distance as the furball snuggles up to his leg. For some reason, Ridis joins in on the cuddling.
Aw, dear, I love Ridis. Okay.
Lately, a suspicious man cloaked in black has been seen wandering about the village outskirts. The old woman looks at Melanie and remarks that he was dressed just like her.
Interesting. First. Oh yeah, that's right, not here. I need to get a salve. Alright, let's go give these to, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
You pour the salve onto the flowers, and they stand up tall. The goblin cries out in happiness and thanks you for your help.
No problem,
He
buddy.
then holds something out to you.
You receive mysterious card 5 from the goblin. Oh, right.
The goblin stares lovingly at the beautiful flowers and gobbles them up. Healthy flowers are the tastiest, he proclaims in glee.
Hey,
Did he grow those flowers just to eat them?
hey. I'm not gonna judge.
Travelers, you hear a voice call from somewhere. Down here, at thy feet, you look down to see a small clump of fur by your boots. The clump of fur speaks. I am Lappy, and I should like to journey forth with thee. Lappy the furball looks at you with amiable expectations.
Okay.
Of course, the more the merrier, you exclaim, pumping your fist energetically into the air. But Melanie coldly interjects, no, I can't trust monsters. Thoroughly rejected by Melanie, Lappy bursts into
Aw.
tears. Lappy says he has no friends because of his aged face and speech. All alone, he decided to leave the village on a journey. Your party is silenced by the crying child with the face of a grown man. You tell Melanie to be nice and quip that both she and Lappy could use a friend. Exhausted from arguing with you, Melanie half-heartedly agrees. Fine, we can be friends. However, she says that they are on a dangerous journey to defeat the dragon. As such, they cannot take a child with them.
Fair enough.
Lappy leaps up and hugs her in his excitement, exclaiming, "Thou hast made me so happy."
It's like Melanie and Lappy became friends. As so they should.
Till next time, Melanie says, peeling Lappy off of her and placing him on the ground. Though she thought all monsters to be evil, Melanie feels that the ones here are different.
Yeah.
Finally, a friend.
Aww. Enter Unionville's Headman's home. Why, yes, of course. Whoa, look
You
at this
bow, but before you can speak, the man suddenly introduces himself as the village headman. He laughs, then shamelessly praises his own village as being wondrous and peaceful. "And who are you?" he asks.
dude. How will you answer?
After explaining that you are on a quest to defeat the dragon, the headman invites you to rest your feet a bit in his village. He says that he had heard rumors of the dragon when he traveled the world. You must be tired from your journey. Have a seat. I will have my chef prepare a feast, the headman says, then claps his hands twice to summon a stewardess. Extravagant dishes that you have never seen before are placed on the table before you, each one looking more delicious than the last. "You're drooling," Melanie scowls. You hadn't even noticed. You wipe your mouth with your sleeve, then gasp as you turn to Mar.
He ate everything.
Perhaps in an attempt to hold himself back, Mar is gnawing on the table corner. There, we'll eat soon, you reassure Mar while gently stroking his head. The doors fly open in the next instant, and a girl runs in. With tears in her eyes, she tells you that her dear companion, Mr. Flobby the Slime, is missing. The headman's eyes go wide in surprise. "We must find that slime right away," he says anxiously. "You are starving, but it doesn't look like you'll be able to partake of the feast before you because of Mr. Flobby's disappearance."
So you say, we'll look for it.
"We will find your slime, and then we feast," you add quietly. Melanie reminds you that you are here to get clues about the dragon from the headman. What's the difference? Literally everything. Hunger taking its toll, you two begin to argue. "Brave heroes," the headman interjects, then bows his head. "Would you please find her slime?" It appears the story has hit a standstill until you find the missing Mr. Flobby. You need to hear the whole story from the young girl. The girl sobs, wailing about the missing Mr. Flobby. Melanie places her hand atop the girl's head and promises that your party will find her companion. The girl then hands something to Melanie. It looks like the muddy handkerchief she used to wipe Mr. Flobby. She asks Melanie to wipe Mr. Flobby with it after you find him. The girl claims to have searched the village but cannot find her friend anywhere. Regardless, looking aimlessly outside the village would be a waste of time. You decide to collect more information in the village. The goblin dutifully tends his flower bed, eagerly anticipating the day they bloom. She says she saw a suspicious man in black with a slime outside the village not long ago. She claims they went northwest together. Did that man take Mr. Flobby? You resolve to leave the village in search of the pair.
They're gonna be in that shrine. Think so? He said northeast, but there's nothing northeast. Okay, maybe it was northwest.
Your footing is obscured in the dimness of the shrine. You should probably proceed with caution. I think you made the right choice. You take a good look at the floor and see it lined in trails of viscous liquid. No doubt a slime or 200 have passed through here. It looks like poor Mr. Flobby is being held captive by the mystery man. Hand over that slime, you shout to the man in the dark. You speak as if I kidnapped him, he remarks, curtly turning to face you. When your eyes finally adjust to the surrounding darkness, you realize the man's clothes look eerily similar to Melanie's. Melanie's mouth falls open in surprise. It seems the man has noticed Melanie as well. It looks like the two know each other.
Well,
the man says that he and Melanie came from the same village, where this was their native dress. The man's revelation makes you realize that you know almost nothing about Melanie's past. You ask Melanie about her hometown, but she holds her tongue. Then the man speaks. With forbidden magic, our clan has ensured the dragon, he begins, when Melanie cuts in. She rattles on about the man, telling you that he is Vince, a lunatic obsessed with the dragon. Vince resentfully claims that he is searching for the noble dragon to protect it. You ran away from home with your tail between your legs, he ridicules. Enraged, Melanie lunges at Vince. You have so many questions, but realize that the most pressing matter is getting Mr. Flobby back. So you ready for battle? Careful, he won't go down easy.
oh, we never rested. Dang it. Alright, well, let's do this. Freaking, she's gonna murder her. Ouch.
During the fight, Vince asks, "Do you know the truth about that village?" The headman may look like a nice old man, but he keeps those little monsters around to, he begins, but before he can finish. Winifred, Hedwyn,
Of course
and
they
Berwyn
do.
of the Ivory Order appear. The three brush you aside, fixing their attention on Vince. "So you are the one who disturbs the peace," they exclaim, then charge at him. The Ivory Order and that false justice they serve are the true evil here, he retaliates, fighting back.
Vince looks like he wants to say something. Yeah, fuck those ivory tower dudes. Acquired heroic hunch. Blubber. I have time of that.
Seeing the two parties occupied with each other, you realize this is your chance to grab Mr. Flobby. Perhaps wary of humans, Mr. Flobby dashes out when you draw near. Vince is on equal footing with the three from the Order. You realize then that he wasn't fighting in earnest against you earlier. Engrossed in their battle, the combatants pay you no mind.
Alright, it's the same thing. Okay. Oh, gosh darn it.
That was lucky. When you reach out to grab Mr. Flobby, he suddenly attacks. Lower Mr. Flobby's stamina to calm him down.
Mr. Flobby She's gonna murder him. Wait, can I... Oh.
Exhausted from the fight,
Oh, I was
the
gonna
raging
fight.
Mr.
Hopefully we
Floppy
didn't kill him.
finally stops attacking. But it seems he hasn't yet come to his senses. He glares warily at your party. Find something to help return Mr. Floppy to normal. You wipe Mr. Floppy's mouth with the handkerchief you received from the girl. Then you hear a quiet voice speak. "That's not my mouth," Mr. Floppy murmurs bashfully. It looks like the girl's familiar scent on the handkerchief returned him to normal. Having regained his senses, Mr. Floppy heads back to the village. You place the increasingly sticky handkerchief in your bag. Lappy approaches and tells you that Mr. Floppy has returned.
Mr. Floppy.
The girl is ecstatic that Mr. Floppy is finally back home. "I'm happy for you," Melanie says with a smile as she returns the handkerchief. The girl bows her head and thanks you deeply. Mr. Floppy looks as slimy as ever. You just hope it's a happy slime. The headman wants us to bring Mr. Floppy to him. Would you mind, you ask? Of course not, but bring him back soon, she answers with a bright smile.
You fulfill the necessary requirements to unlock Mr. Floppy's enemy story. Actually, now would be a good time to that's it. Mr. Floppy. It's everyone's favorite friendly villager slime, Mr. Floppy. You can find him playing house or racing against a girl in the village, his bestest friend forever. Mr. Floppy comes from a real big family. There's a sister Plobby, his brother Plebby, and his nephew Bobby. Sadly, none of them are with us any longer. Probably because I murdered them all. Alright, characters. Though they share a birthplace, Vince's magical might far outstrips Melody. He is now the dragon's stalwart companion and is ever wary of the Ivory Order. Yeah, they're douchebags. A traveling gourmand in his younger days, the headman has long been fond of monsters. So much so he founded Unionville, where humans and monsters coexist. Rain patters. Okay, yeah, we already have her, yeah. Which other one did we unlock? Simple boy, this little boy loves climbing trees, just you watch. Today he's gonna climb the biggest tree in the square. The little boy loves his big sister. Today he's gonna climb a tree and have a look-see in his sister's room. Well, I mean, who am I to judge? She was a quick hire. Her gentle disposition was sure to attract a few more customers. The figure no one was prepared for the crush of customers they ensured. Her hiring was ultimately a failure. The damages wrought by her carelessness far outweighed the profits and left the store in shambles. That's funny. Was there somebody else that we... The average man, not a day passed that he didn't wear his hair or arrange his clothes just the way she liked. She's the prettiest girl in the village, and one day he was sure she'd notice them. Before long, the village was full of men who dressed the same and wore their hair the exact same way. She ceased to be able to tell any from apart. That's actually kind of funny. Alright, I think that's all we got right now. I decided I'm just going to cut out all the game parlor stuff. If you guys want to see it, that's fine, but I spent nearly a half hour on it, so I'm just going to cut it all. Enter the Union. Yes, we will.
I am so happy to see you safe and sound, the headman exclaims, giving Mr. Flobby a hug. You explain everything that happened, including the incident with Vince and the Ivory Order. He expresses his relief that the Order will be taking care of the criminal. He then thanks you for your hard work and instructs his stewardess to prepare dinner for your party. You can feel your collective mouths watering at the sight of the lavish meal before you. You, Mar, and Ridis immediately dig in. You aren't sure where you find a moment to breathe among all the feasting. Please, eat to your heart's content, the headman insists with a smile. Once your belly is full, you realize that Mr. Flobby is gone. And then... Room for dessert? The headman asks, offering you a plate of slimy jelly. You feel your stomach churning at the very sight of it. The color strikes you as familiar, and the stickiness sends a shiver down your spine. Is this Mr. Flobby? You ask the headman, your voice trembling in disbelief. The headman looks at you with a plain expression, one that holds no malice. Is that a problem? He questions back. This dish is a masterpiece, he remarks with a light-hearted chuckle as he gazes at the jelly. And I have you brave heroes to thank for it. Had you not brought that slime back, we would not be able to enjoy this exquisite dessert. Are you full? He asks, seemingly concerned at your silence. It would be a shame to let something so splendid go to waste.
I don't even know what to say. The fuck?
You move to leave, but the headman stops you. I try to get my meat while it's still young and tender, but at least your pet is very plump he remarks, licking his lips. He points at Mar and asks, "Would you consider leaving that creature here with me?" "Never," you refuse flatly, not bothering to hide your discomfort. "Think about it," he entreats. And then you grab the headman by his lapels, hands trembling in fury.
Strike him with the fury of the lightning and roll 1.
Good work. You pummel the headman with all your might. Curled up on the ground, the headman groans in pain, but insists that monsters were meant to be eaten. You hug Mar tightly, reassuring him that you will not hand him over to anyone. Mar looks at you with his round eyes and mews softly. You meet eyes with the rest of your party and reach a tacit agreement. Together, you all stand and leave. His consciousness fading, the headman asks, "What did I do?"
It's like he made this place just so to eat things? The hell?
As you are about to leave the headman's house, though, the old man suddenly charges at you from behind. But Mar, the keener of you two, is quick to block his path. With a crash, Mar and the headman tumble to the ground. From the headman's hand falls a small blade. It clatters to the ground, covered in blood. You take the injured Mar to an inn where you can watch over him. You gaze at the unconscious Mar with concern. Despite the shallow wound, no amount of medicine seems to rouse Mar from the bed. "I heard that my friends were in danger, so I came as quickly as I could," Lappy says. As he reaches Mar's bedside, he leans over and licks his wound. "This is what-you-call-it extract," he shouts.
Oh, what?
He explains that it is a poison extracted from a certain monster. If it enters the body, it drastically reduces one's stamina. Hearing those words, you realize the headman's blade must have been coated in this poison. Mar's condition starts to make sense. "Isn't there anything we can do?" Melanie asks. Lappy's eyes widen in realization before he places his mouth over Mar's wound and begins sucking. He then puts the what-you-call-it extract into a bottle and hands it to you. Lappy says that if you follow the road south of the village, you will reach Shoreland. He tells you to give the extract to the famous nutritionist there. Realizing that you are at fault for this, you don't hesitate to undertake the quest. But this is strange. The extract comes from a monster, so it should have no effect on one, Lappy remarks with a curious tilt of his head.
Aw. You have filled the necessary requirements to unlock the village headman's flipside story. That guy.
I thought a beast of that size would eat us out of house and home, she remarks, no doubt talking about Mar.
I was hoping I could best. Now I gotta go tell that girl about Mr. Floppy. Wait.
The headman's guilty pleasure of eating monsters has reached the ears of the people, and he has been chased from the village. The man looks sad, saying he cannot believe no one realized he was eating children. The girl sighs. "You're dirty again," she says, wiping a slime's mouth. "Mr. Flobby, you're alive," you exclaim in glee. "This is Mr. Globby, Mr. Flobby's cousin," she tells you. The girl sighs. "You're dirty again," she says, wiping Mr. Flobby's cousin, Mr. Globby.
It was one up. It's pretty much the same thing. Alright, so nobody else has really anything to say then. Alright, I guess we're heading south to Operation Save Mar. A monster vanishes in a village. While on its trail, the proud witch encounters a one-eyed man from her past. As the ivory tower and the mysterious man cross blades, the self-proclaimed heroes slink away to see the missing monster home. The hidden village's secret comes to light. It is united in name alone. A monster falls protecting would-be hero from the headman's blade. Knowing they must save their precious companion, the party sets out to the next town. There they meet two stalwart men who devote their lives to nutrition. Oh my gosh. Chapter 4, Shoreland. Okay, I think we're actually going to call that then. We'll call that an episode. Like I said, I'm gonna cut the Follow the Road South Union Shoreland. Okay. Cut the game stuff out, I guess. So I'll be fine with that, unless you guys want to see it, but I can always make just a separate video for that. But in the meantime, friends, I hope you are enjoying the story. Like, this game is dark. It's like dark and cute, but I like that. It kind of comes at you out of nowhere. So, yeah, the headman dude can go F off somewhere for all I care. So, all right. Anyways, in our next episode, we will definitely head south to Shoreland and save Mar. So, with that being said, friends, I hope you are all healthy and happy and safe and all that stuff. In all honesty, stay safe. So, and Happy New Year, I believe. I'm not sure when this is. I'm not sure if it's New Year's yet when this comes out or not, but if not, it's going to be close to it. So, but that being said, friends, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.